Hey guys, it's Amanda. Welcome back to my art channel, and this video has a lot going on, so I'm going to kind of bypass the introduction rather quickly. But today's video is part of the Artstravaganza collaboration group. If you guys don't know what that is, it's a group of artists here on YouTube, including JMI Creations, Nyrelle Busby, myself, Lindoodlez, Edward Suo, and our newest member, Illustrations with Evie. Although she's not really so new anymore because she has been participating with us this entire summer. And basically we've done an entire summer full of different kinds of events and challenges, and we all kind of make videos, and it's a really fun, really cool group. We have a playlist, and I will have everybody's information and video stuff linked down below so you can go check that out. But for this challenge, which is actually the final challenge of the summer, oh my god, that's so crazy, we decided to do a 3-way challenge. And this is a PG challenge, so nothing weird. But basically the group split up into 2 smaller groups, so 2 groups of 3. I was in a group with Lindoodlez and Nyrelle, and basically, if you guys have seen this, it's kind of like a meme or like a challenge that was going around like a while back. But basically, we each draw a sketch, and then we pass it on to the next person, and they ink it, and then they pass it on to the next person, and they color it. So I'm stupid and didn't film my sketching process, but basically the prompt was to draw like our favorite character, or like a character that we really like, and to try and draw it in that style, sort of, because if you guys have been following us along the entirety of the summer, we've been doing a lot of themes centered around style. Now, whether style is in terms of fashion or in terms of artistic style has kind of varied from video to video, but that is basically how this idea came to mind. So as you can see, I am inking Lynn's sketch of Lance from Voltron. If you guys watch that, she's obsessed with it, and I think her style is so cute mixed with like Lance's character. It's just really cute. So yeah, this is Lance from Voltron, and I basically just filmed a little bit of me sort of inking and transferring to from like using the light box, transferring from the sketch that I printed out onto a separate piece of paper. And just another quick note about the line art that I did of Lynn's piece before I get into the coloring of Nyrelle's piece. For Lynn's style, if you guys know her and you follow her, which if you don't, you should, her art style centers a lot around line art. Like, she has this very specific line art style where she does a lot of really bold lines, and what's funny is that the line art that I'm coloring was actually done by Lynn. So even though the sketch was done by Nyrelle, Lynn did the line art that I'm coloring, and so you can kind of get a feel for her line art style as I'm coloring on the screen now. But when I inked Lynn's sketch, I wanted to kind of mix that up because I was like, she does a lot of really bold black lines in her artwork. So how can I mix that up and kind of make it different and kind of make it my own? So what I did was I did very thin, light, colored line art. So I used kind of a series of brown multi-liner pens by Prismacolor in the size 005, which is super, super tiny, but I think it gave the piece a really cool look because the lines are still very clean and very streamlined, which is different from my style, but seeing just like the thin colored line art makes the piece just feel very soft, and I think that gave it a really, really cool look. So definitely check out how Nyrelle colored my line art of Lynn's sketch. So you can kind of see the process of how this works out now. So the sketch that I'm coloring was done by Nyrelle, inked by Lynn, and then colored by me, obviously. So this is the character, oh my gosh, I cannot remember his name, hold on. Ayomine from Kuronobasuke, which I do not watch. I have never seen this anime. I know it's like a sports anime, that's all I know about it, so I had to look up some reference for this character and kind of just go with it, and I think it came out really cool. I definitely had a lot of fun coloring in a almost more cell shaded style than what I normally do. So this is kind of different for me, and let me know if you guys like this kind of style. Maybe I can experiment with it a little bit more. But basically I approached this piece like I would any other. The only difference was that I was coloring somebody else's line art, which is always fascinating. I love coloring other people's line art because, especially with the combination of Nyrelle and Lynn's styles in this piece already, I noticed two things. I noticed that obviously there was kind of a lot more line art than I was used to working with just in my own work, but there weren't lines where normally I place lines, and that's not a bad thing at all. I think that that's actually really super cool. Like the areas where normally I would think to put lines, I had to sort of structure in a different way using color. Like for example, around the nose, to give the nose like a more three-dimensional shape, I had to use colors to kind of carve that out and give it shadow and dimension because the lines were not placed there. So I thought that that was really, really cool. So what's really interesting about Lynn and Nyrelle is that they both use line art very differently than I do, and they place lines in places where I don't necessarily place lines, and then they choose not to put lines in places where I would. So it's really interesting. You learn a lot about the other artists that way, and kind of getting to, I don't know, see their art through their eyes in a way. So yeah, I had a lot of fun coloring this. It was super simple. There wasn't a lot of different colors involved or anything like that. In the reference pictures that I looked up, it just looked like the character was just wearing like basic kind of sports jacket and jersey. So I kind of tried to emulate that a little bit and just bring in a lot of the colors that I saw him wearing. So like a lot of dark grays and blacks and stuff like that. So for the jacket, I'm using just some cool grays and kind of shading it a little bit. And then I use a darker gray for the jersey underneath, and then I add just a few elements of red because I did see that that was also a pretty common color in the reference pictures that I saw. And then for the hair, actually, I should have mentioned this earlier, but for the hair, I actually put down a layer of blue first. I used B97, which is a really like desaturated grayish blue, and then I went on top of that with the grays. So it just kind of makes it stand out a little bit more than, say, the jacket or the shirt. But it gives it a really cool look because in a lot of the references I saw that his hair kind of had this bluish tint to it, so I definitely wanted to add that. And then just to kind of make the character pop out a little bit from the page, I just sort of added this shadow to one side. It's not entirely accurate or anything, but I did just sort of do that to kind of make it pop out a little bit because I don't know, I kind of liked the no background for this piece. I thought that it just sort of made sense, and I don't know, I just feel like the no background was the way to go for this one. Normally I would totally be extra and add in, you know, every little element that I could think of, but I just decided not to for this piece. And just one final note, I do end up kind of making one change off camera, and that is with the eyes. Originally, I had kind of had the eyes, the whites of the eyes come down a lot lower, but sort of as I studied Nyrelle's style a little bit closer and Lynn's style, I kind of realized that I think the whites of the eyes end kind of at the bottom of the pupil. So that is the only thing that I really changed. I just brought the whites of the eyes up a little bit higher, so you'll see that in the final scan. Although looking back on it now, I do think it looks cute when his eyes are a little bit bigger. So I don't know. I have a scanned version of both the larger eyes and then when I changed it, so I guess I can kind of have both in a way. But yeah, Nyrelle, I had a lot of fun coloring your character that you chose for this challenge. I thought that it was really, really fun. Definitely out of my comfort zone a little bit, and I'm kind of excited about that. I kind of want to do more things than just this like simple cel shaded style, because I think it's really fun. And thank you, Lynn, for giving me the opportunity to not only ink your sketch but also to color your line art. I had a lot of fun. I feel like I haven't collabed with Lynn in a long time, even though like we have worked in Artstravaganza together the last 2 years. We haven't really done anything like one-on-one in a long time, so I kind of felt like this was like sort of a collab with Lynn too. And you guys know I just worked with Nyrelle on the last challenge, which again, check out all the previous challenge videos for this year. They're awesome, and I know you guys will love them as much as I do. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!